Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you this almost mid-afternoon for a album review again. This is the third out of the four albums, the 3 out of 4 albums that I'm reviewing. I think there's only one more album I'm reviewing, and that's the Troye Sivan album. So this is for Blue October's Spinning the Truth Around Part 2 album. I got a chance to listen to for all 13 songs. Technically there's 14, but The Flood, I guess, doesn't have a release date when it's coming out. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for all 13 songs, which is a runtime of almost an hour and 2 minutes, and let you know my thoughts on Blue October's newest album, Spinning the Truth Around Part 2. So let's dive into this album review. Now, basically, it continues where the first part left off. And honestly, we're going to start with the first track. Sideways was bad. I don't know why the opening track is the worst fucking song on the album, but it is. And it's bad, but I'm mostly disappointed that it turned out to really suck. So 1.5 out of 5 for this song. I don't know. There was just something about Justin's vocals that I could not get behind, and the mixing was really cringy and not very good. So this was not their best opening track to this album, and I'm really disappointed with Blue October. All I See Is You is a solid track. I think this was a good song. This should have they should have at least tried to do better with the first song. Made an interesting melody that would have made the opening track alright to listen to. So, but no, they just come out with the most cringiest lyrics for the first song, like "Make money, fuck you." What the fuck is those lyrics anyway? Um, yeah, it's just like what the fuck. So basically, yeah, Sideways was a bad song, 1.5 out of 5. But All I See Is You, I did enjoy, to an extent. I don't think it's the best song on the album, but it is one of the highlights for the album. So 4.5 out of 5. Sobriety is a mixed bag. This one had a crappy start to the beginning. It wasn't interesting. It was disappointing of a start for the beginning, and I didn't like Justin's falsetto vocals at the beginning. It just didn't do anything for me. But the rest of the track spoke for itself in an okay way. So this track is in the middle with me. So 3 out of 5. Magic Isn't Real is another mids, just meh song. It's kind of mid, uh, in my opinion. Like, there are good things about it and there are bad things about it. The good things meaning the melody is alright. The bad thing is some of the melody can be a little corny. And just the way Justin sings it at times can be a little corny. Some, not all of it. Like, yeah, there's good flaws and bad flaws with this song, but overall, I think it's an okay track to give it a 3 out of 5. Leave Room for a Miracle is disappointing. I don't like Justin's vocals in this track. It's just, he sounds cringy with his vocals, and it doesn't sound like he's giving enough effort to make it sound good. So, a little disappointed with this one. 2.5 out of 5. Last Look Moving Forward was a good track in its own way. I was a little more impressed with this song and the rest of the remainder of the album. But, yeah, there's going to be quite a bit of critiques that is going to ruin the album's reception big time. So, not enough for a passing rating, that I can tell you. Basically 4.5 out of 5. I did enjoy Last Look Moving Forward. So yeah, there are some tracks to remember through this album, but the ones that really ruin the album is gonna bring down the reception big time. So 4.5 out of 5. Down Here Waiting does have some electronic moments in it, but I didn't hate this song personally. I think it was an alright track. I like the longer version too. It's pretty good. It's the album version that I listened to, and it was like 4 minutes and 23 seconds, and it didn't sound so bad. So 4.5 out of 5 for this one. Justin's vocals actually sound alright in this song. There are some lyrics that are hit or miss, but overall, I think the track did alright for what it was going for. 4.5 out of 5. Goodbye to the Old Days, it was average. I mean, the melody was alright. Justin's vocals kind of bring it down to like mid vocal range stuff, and it just, I don't know. There's some cringy moments with his vocals that I don't know if I can get behind with some of the lyrics he chooses for the song. So 4.5 out of, or 3.5 out of 5. Almost said 4.5 out of 5. Sorry if I did start to say that. It's a 3.5 out of 5. It's an average track. Just trying to correct myself. Slow Down was nice. I like the melody, but there are some moments where it can get a little lazy. But overall, it's a good track. Justin's vocals sound good, really good. So 4.5 out of 5. 1222 Bay Oak Street. Solid track. Didn't hate how it sounded. There were some cringy moments with Justin's vocals during the first and second verse that I don't know if I could feel for his vocals, but everything else sounded alright, and to give it a good rating. So 4.5 out of 5. And then comes the final track before you get to the mixed tracks, the remix tracks, which is A Better Man, and that's a solid one. Didn't hate it. So I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5 for this one. There are some moments where I like it, and some moments where it's not bad. So, yeah, it's 6 minutes and 20 seconds of a track, but it's not a bad listen. So, 4.5 out of 5. Down Here Waiting, Mark Needham mix is a good track in its own way. I think the last two songs are solid tracks. I think the rest of the album, like close to the second half of the album, is where it gets a little better. From track 6 to 13. And track 2 as well. But everything else is just like hit or miss. So, yeah, kind of a miss. So, basically, 4.5 out of 5 for Down Here Waiting, Mark Needham mix. A Better Man, Brooklyn mix is the final track for the album, officially, unless they release The Flood, which I don't know if they're going to release that track. It's up to Justin and the band, pretty much, but basically, it's a solid track. I don't hate it for what it goes for, and overall, it's not the worst song to close out this album. It's actually a little fast paced than the original, but the acoustic work sounds pretty nice. So 4.5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, do I think it's as good as the first part? Not really. It's worse. It is a bad album, and I am unfortunately having to say that because I liked the first part a lot. I thought it was growing on me a lot more. There were some tracks that I could say are alright, but the first part was better than this second part. I think the second part really needed a lot more work with the songs Sideways, Sobriety, Leave Room for a Miracle, and Goodbye to the Old Days. Goodbye to the Old Days and Sobriety, Magic is Real. They were okay. They weren't great songs, but the two songs that really needed work were Leave Room for a Miracle and Sideways. Those songs ruined the album big time. To unfortunately give it a pretty bad score. So for a score for me, I'm having to give Blue October Spinning the Truth Around Part 2 a 4.5 out of 10. This album wasn't that great. And it's a shame because I think Blue October is very talented, but with this album, it didn't do it for me. Like the opening track and the fifth song were the worst to ruin the reception for this album. That's why I had to give it a 4.5 out of 10. The rest of the tracks did okay to solid. Okay, average to solid mostly. So meaning solid is good. So that's a good rating. But everything else just, I don't know, it just wasn't as good as the first part, in my opinion. So, yeah, 4.5 out of 10 for Spinning the Truth Around Part 2. I'm a little disappointed with Blue October this time around. And thank you guys for watching this album review today.